And how did you anyway come upon this? We know that you start as an artist and you have been an osteopath. And how do you come to biodynamics at the end?
Well, I think my own journey started when I was in my 20s, and I was working as an artist because I was working as a theatre designer. But I developed an interest really in why people survived extraordinary circumstances and what it was that, there would be a disaster somewhere, and 8 days later some people would still be pulled out of the rubble completely against the odds. And some people just seem to have this ability to move through the so-called incurable diseases. That's what really caught my attention. And the other thing that really hooked me is I loved anything to do with touch, I'd hear that you could rub something on somebody, it would help with this kind of or that kind of pain. And I was just fascinated by what our hands could do and the interaction between our hands and another human being. So those were my ways in. And so I knew I wanted to change course. I knew I wanted to move out of theatre world. I knew I wanted to work with my hands, and I was fascinated about the extraordinary power for healing that human beings have. So in fact, my journey was through massage, and then I trained as an osteopath and practiced the more structural type of osteopathy. But I was very interested in what the big boys in class were doing, which is this cranial work. And I continued to do some of that I did some of my training within the osteopathic field. But then I was led, if you like, to the training offered by Franklin Sills at the Karuna Institute, which happened to be just an hour down the road from me. I was chasing courses all over the world, and this one was an hour down the road from me. So I was very fortunate to study the bulk of cranio-sacral therapy with Franklin Sills. And Franklin's background is extraordinary. I mean, he's a committed Buddhist and has been a student of Buddhism for a very long time. And Morris Sills and Franklin Sills together set up the Karuna Institute, which is primarily a psychotherapy training institute. So the work that he brought and the essence that he brought into the teaching of the cranial work was very much based in presence and mindfulness and interbeing, the awareness of a being as opposed to a person, as opposed to the self, which is much more to do with the conditions that have arisen in us in response to our life experience. So Franklin has this eloquent ability not only to describe the hugeness of primary respiration, but also to bring us back to a quality in ourselves, to strip away our own conditioning to a place where we can simply be and be present and compassionate with another. And that was very much how I was trained. And I was, I think, doubly lucky because I trained with Franklin and then I worked alongside him. I was a tutor at the Institute for a long period of time and worked with Franklin over many years. And I was actually there as we made the shift from a more traditional biomechanical approach to craniosacral therapy to the full-blown biodynamic approach. Yes. So it was fantastic to be there through the journey and be part of that transition.
That's a beautiful description.
Yeah, sounds like an exciting journey as well. Yes.
Historically, when did that happen? Are we in the 80s, the 90s?
I have to do this on first principles. I had to think about how old I was. Yeah, this was happening mostly in the 90s. Yeah, the transition was happening in the 90s. Yeah.
So you really have been gone a long way.
Yes, indeed. Yes. And I've been in this work for, nearly a quarter of a century now. And that's about right. I'm beginning to have an idea of what it's all about.
Yeah.